Have you ever wondered what leprosy is all about? A question that may have crossed your mind, especially around World Leprosy Day. Well, let's dive right in. Leprosy, also known as Hansen's disease, is an infectious illness that primarily affects the skin and nerves. It's caused by a slow-growing type of bacteria called Mycobacterium leprae. The disease has a long history, with references found in ancient texts from civilizations like Egypt, India, and China. Despite its ancient roots, leprosy didn't become well understood until the late 19th century, when Dr. Gerhard Armauer Hansen discovered the bacteria responsible. Here's something interesting though. Leprosy is not highly contagious. It's believed to be transmitted through prolonged, close contact with untreated individuals. But it's also curable, with early detection and consistent treatment being key. As we can see, leprosy is more than just an ancient disease. It's a modern-day medical challenge. Now, let's shatter some common misconceptions about leprosy. Over the centuries, leprosy has been clouded by myths and superstitions. One such myth is that leprosy is a curse or punishment for past sins. This is completely false. Leprosy is a bacterial infection caused by Mycobacterium leprae, and it has absolutely nothing to do with divine retribution. Another widespread misconception is that leprosy is highly contagious. In reality, the majority of people, about 95%, have a natural immunity to leprosy. It's not as easily transmissible as the common cold or flu. A particularly damaging myth is that leprosy is incurable. This is simply not true. With modern medicine, leprosy can be completely cured, and early detection can even prevent disabilities associated with advanced stages of the disease. With these facts in hand, we can begin to dismantle the stigma surrounding leprosy. Let's continue to educate ourselves and others to foster understanding and compassion for those affected by this disease. Understanding the medical aspects of leprosy is crucial in demystifying the disease. Let's start with the basics. Leprosy, also known as Hansen's disease, is a bacterial infection caused by Mycobacterium leprae. It primarily affects the skin and nerves, leading to symptoms like skin lesions, numbness, and muscle weakness. Diagnosing leprosy is typically done through a clinical examination of these physical signs, sometimes supplemented with skin smears or biopsies. Early diagnosis is key in preventing the progression of the disease and potential disabilities. So, how do we treat leprosy? The good news is, leprosy is curable with multi-drug therapy, or MDT. This treatment, available free of charge worldwide, involves a combination of drugs administered over 6 months to 2 years, depending on the severity of the disease. The World Health Organization introduced MDT in the early 1980s, and since then it has been instrumental in curing millions of people globally. However, treating the disease is just one part of the puzzle. Rehabilitation and care for those affected by leprosy are essential to prevent disabilities and reintegrate individuals into society. Physical therapy, assistive devices, and psychological support all play a role in this process. With advancements in medicine, leprosy is now not a life sentence, but a treatable condition. It's time to shift our perspective, spread awareness, and foster a world where leprosy is understood, not feared. Leprosy, unfortunately, is not consigned to the history books. Despite significant strides in combating this ancient disease, it still persists in many parts of the globe. Today, the regions most affected by leprosy include parts of South America, Africa, and Asia, with India, Brazil, and Indonesia bearing the highest burden. These regions, often characterized by poverty and limited access to healthcare, present the greatest challenges in leprosy control. Efforts to eradicate leprosy are ongoing, spearheaded by organizations like the World Health Organization and numerous nonprofit entities. These groups are tirelessly working to provide early diagnosis and treatment, crucial steps in halting the spread of the disease. Yet, the battle is far from won. Stigma and discrimination still act as formidable barriers, often preventing affected individuals from seeking help and hindering disease control efforts. Additionally, the lack of awareness and education about leprosy contributes to the persistence of the disease. Many people, including healthcare providers, lack the necessary knowledge to recognize the early signs of leprosy, leading to delayed treatment and increased transmission. However, the fight is not in vain. The global leprosy strategy, focused on early detection and comprehensive care, has resulted in a steady decline in the number of cases worldwide. But there's still a long road ahead. The fight against leprosy is far from over, but with concerted efforts, we can make a difference. With continued commitment and global solidarity, we can inch closer to a world free of leprosy. Behind every statistic is a human story, a poignant reminder that the fight against leprosy is not merely a battle with numbers, but a journey towards healing and acceptance for millions of individuals worldwide. Take, for instance, the tale of Maria from Brazil. Diagnosed with leprosy at a young age, Maria faced not only the physical challenges of the disease, but also the social stigma that follows. Her resilience, however, was unyielding. Today, Maria is an advocate for leprosy awareness, using her story to educate others and fight the misconceptions associated with the condition. Or consider the journey of Raj from India, who was ostracized by his community following his diagnosis. But Raj refused to let the disease define him. Instead, he sought treatment, overcame the disease, and now dedicates his life to supporting others on their path to recovery. These stories, and countless others like them, are the heartbeat of our global struggle against leprosy. They remind us that behind the medical statistics and research breakthroughs are real individuals, each with their unique experiences, challenges, and triumphs. But these stories do more than just evoke empathy. They serve as powerful tools in our fight against the disease. By sharing these narratives, we can challenge the stigma associated with leprosy, promote inclusivity, and foster a deeper understanding of the human experience behind the disease. Advocacy plays a crucial role in this process. It's about giving voice to the voiceless, shining a light on the overlooked, and ensuring that those affected by leprosy are heard, acknowledged, and supported. It's about transforming personal stories into catalysts for change, using lived experiences to educate, inspire, and drive action. Sharing these stories and spreading awareness is a powerful tool in our fight against leprosy. So let's continue to amplify these voices, to listen, learn, and advocate for change. Because in the face of adversity, every story of resilience, every act of advocacy brings us one step closer to a world free of leprosy stigma.